If you don't have people eagerly joining your email list and asking to follow you, it might be time to try something new. Today's episode is one you won't want to miss. One of our Wellness RE Pro members, Terry Brown from Coldwell Banker in Atlanta, decided to host a booth at her church's annual jazz festival. But she didn't realize until she was there that there would be other agents who would have a table right across the aisle from hers. Learn what she did to not only get those agents curious and asking her questions, but learn how Terry got 25 new leads in one afternoon. And even better, she has a new listing now because of her unique strategy. Stay tuned and let's grow. Welcome to the Real Estate Marketing Podcast, where we explore a unique strategy no one is talking about that will enable you to engage more people with authentic conversations about your business more often. And it's called Wellness Real Estate. Not sure what that is or how it can help you as an agent? Well, that's what this podcast is all about. In fact, Wellness Real Estate is growing so rapidly that it is projected to be nearly $870 billion by 2027. I'm Sheila Alston, and I'm your host. I'm also the founder of Healthy Home Media, where I help agents all over the country leverage this new trend in the industry to spark new conversations that will get people to listen to you and notice your brand. So if you're tired of spinning your wheels without any leads or sales to show for it, then stay tuned. I guarantee this podcast is not like any you've heard before. Welcome to the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. Welcome to the Wellness Real Estate Podcast. Today, I want to share an incredible story from one of my Wellness RE Pro members, Terry Brown from Coldwell Banker Bain in Atlanta.
Thank you.
I wanted to bring you in because I think that so many agents struggle with how to find new leads or how to talk about their unique value proposition with people. You know, it's easy if you worked in retail and you're at a storefront where people are coming in to kind of learn about your business. But if you're just in the day-to-day having conversations with people, you know, out and about, it's kind of awkward to feel like you're, you know, let's talk about real estate. So I guess I wanted to find out, you know, what you did and how it helped your business. So go ahead.
Sure. Well, as you know, my church is pretty active in the community. So we do a lot of different things. So we had what was called Jazz Fest. And basically, it was a fundraiser for scholarship money that we do every year and sponsor that for, you know, kids as they're graduating and going to college. So it was a fundraiser for that, but it was a lovely affair. It was a dinner and dancing, had a beautiful art show. There were other vendors there. In fact, there were 2 other real estate vendors there, which I didn't know were going to be there, which was kind of interesting. So one was across from me, which was kind of funny. I thought, okay, that's kind of nice. But anyway, so as people kind of came through, I had had a table, and I set up and I had the magazine there. And I tried to bring things in that I would be able to talk to them about. You know, I had the green plants, so I wanted to talk about biophilic design and how you can incorporate that into your home and help clean the air, you know. So I wanted to understand what the wellness-focused real estate agent, how we differ. And basically, that's what I talked about. And people would say, well, what is that? You know, and I said, well, we're really focusing on the home. I mean, a lot of these people know me from being like, I was over the health and welfare ministry for my church for many, many years. So I would plan health fairs and things like that. I'm going to turn this off. I think it's making it worse. But so I did things like that and 5K runs and so forth for the church and the community. And so they always think of me as kind of that wellness person. So I'm talking to them and I'm saying, well, you know, I've incorporated wellness. Wellness is a part of everything we do, you know, where we live, how we live. And if we're living in a home that, you know, is off-gassing and just not producing, helping you to stay healthy, you know, no matter what you eat and how well you exercise, you're not going to meet that, your goal, you know, which is to be healthy. So they were always curious kind of, you know, about that. So I started talking to them and, you know, showed them a few articles and so forth. And, you know, I said, well, you know, if you'd like to sign up, you know, I'll be doing this digitally next month and I can send you a copy. And I'd love to have you sign up. And they were like, oh, yeah, you know, it's great. So So they did. And so I got, like I said, 25 names that evening.
That's
then,
incredible.
yeah. And actually, Sheila, we had about 2 weeks later, 2 weeks ago, maybe, we had a tea at our church.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some of my magazines left because I didn't mail them out and I didn't give them out to everyone. So another one, we had vendors there. I didn't participate as a vendor, I went as a guest. And we probably had maybe 200 women there.
Mm-hmm.
So there were different vendors there with tables. And I saw some people I hadn't seen in a while, friends, from other organizations. And I saw one lady that, went over and talked to her and gave her my magazine and said, I'm still doing my real estate, but I'm focusing more on the wellness part of that as well. She called me last week and said, can you help my cousin who wants to sell her home? They really need to get out of the home.
Yes.
Or buy a new home. So I'm working with her, and trying to get her.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I mean, isn't that what we want? We want to spark connections with people and let them know that you care about them, right? But I feel like, if you're just having the typical real estate conversations, it's hard to do that because, you can only talk about the market so many times or interest rates and things. And it's just very transactional in nature. And it's hard to spark those authentic conversations that come back to real estate, right? You can have a ton of authentic conversations about life in general and be a good friend to people. But if they still don't know how you're different than the realtor across the way, why are they going to choose you? Because I feel like sometimes people, if they have lots of friends who are real estate agents, they don't want to pick among their friends, right? If they don't know why. So congratulations. I'm so excited. I'm curious to hear, what did the agent across the way say at the event?
Came over, but they're big names. And they came over and like, well, what is this? And the one lady I did know, the other one I did not, but they were like together. It was two of them with that particular brokerage. And so at first I didn't realize that that's what they were doing. I hadn't focused because I was kind of talking to people and so forth. And but they were kind of like, they were just trying to pick my brain at that point to see what it was all about. So,
well, if they knew you got 25 leads in one day, they might not poo-poo it. I mean, I know when I was an agent, I worked at open houses and I could barely get 2 or 3 people to join my email list. People just don't really want to give you their email because they don't want to be on anybody's list anymore. And they probably are already getting a bunch of market emails from lots of agents. So to have that many people in one afternoon eagerly join yours because of something unique you're offering is pretty amazing. And I'm so excited that you just got a listing from it. That's great news. So, I wanted to know, like, what are your next steps? What do you have other events planned? Do you do events regularly? And are they a big part of your strategy to connect with people? Or do you have other ideas?
Right. I do want to plan something. In fact, someone today that saying that we should maybe partner into some kind of workshop. She's actually in the healthcare, so she does insurance, and so I said, well, maybe we should partner together and put on a little seminar for and people that are looking to buy, people that are looking for what she offers. I said, but we can tie the two things together, and make it a holistic health event, and see what happens. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
That's a great idea. I think if you are going to do that, you might want to think about doing a downloadable PDF that has some of the topics about what you're going to cover so that people can look at it and go, oh, what's this about? Kind of learn a little bit about what you're talking about. You can just kind of highlight how you and your partner, what you're going to be talking about, and then ask them at the end, come to this seminar. It's free and we'll be discussing this, and make sure you put in there what they're going to get from coming. How are they going to benefit? What are they going to learn? How is it going to help them? So if you put that in there, then you're more likely to have, a lot of people want to show up eagerly to want to learn more.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm trying.
Well, Yeah, that's great. And, I guess, do you feel like having a physical magazine is more helpful, or it's the same as having like the digital magazine as far as calling people and reaching out and having a reason to connect and share with them?
Well, I think anytime, obviously, when you put something in,
Hmm.
physically having seen. Actually, this lady I was talking to today, she said, well, there were really some great articles in there, the one that I was talking about partnering with. So I think it is a plus. It is a
Hmm.
plus. It's an expense. And,
Hmm.
I think if I can get some things going, I'd like to do probably another, trying to do another issue and so forth soon.
Yeah, well, if you start getting all these listings, you might just need to farm your local area with the magazines, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and we are trying to think outside of the box and make that more affordable for agents. I don't know if I've told you this, but our publisher, Brad, has a partner program where we could get a list of your partners and we could call them and try to get them to let them know that you're planning to farm a certain area with 1,000 or more homes. And do they want exposure for their business? And if they place an ad basically in your magazine, then some of that revenue or half of it actually goes towards reducing the cost of spending it. So if you can get a few partners to do that, then it can significantly decrease the expense. And that way you're still reaching all those people, but not having to spend an arm and a leg to do it.
No, that's a possibility of something. Right.
Yeah, so just keep that, in the back of your mind. And if you were able to secure the partners and you just submitted an ad to me, then, you could have 100%, guys could just like basically go in on the issue together, share the expense so that it's even more cost effective for you, basically.
There are a lot of things going on. Like I said, the area, Atlanta has not stopped growing no matter what's happening in the country, I think. But
Mm-hmm.
a lot of interesting things. And I guess what I'm really excited about in particular is seeing that these builders are in here, in California, that's not an issue, but here they are really focusing in on the wellness of the home, and
Mm-hmm.
that's the main point first,
Mm-hmm.
and versus just building a bunch of houses, building homes.
Yes, I love it. I mean, it is the trend. And I
Mm-hmm.
feel like once more people understand that it's a possibility or it's an opportunity for them to have a choice about the matter, um, of course they're going to want that. I feel like, when organic food first came into being, people were like, why would I pay $1 more for this? But then once they realized, oh, it's better for you and I get to choose and know what's going in my mouth and actually I'm healthier for it, it's a no-brainer. So that's what's trending in real estate. So it's wonderful that you are going to be, the first agents in your area to do this, because I do foresee that people will be like, who's the wellness agent in my area? How do people know more about mold or air quality or water quality or all of these additional ways how we can create a healthier home? And just the fact that you're expanding your knowledge and network makes you a more valuable agent. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm
Yeah.
excited that we have, anything health like that. It's just important that we have to identify ways to stay healthier because it's upon us to do it. We can't.
Yes.
Um,
Well, so what would you say to agents who don't necessarily have a background in health? Maybe they aren't a certified health coach or anything like that, but they are passionate about healthy living. They care about that. They see the trend in wellness. What would you say to them if they thought, oh gosh, I want to share this, but I'm not a health expert?
well, I mean, obviously, you don't have to be.
Mm-hmm.
The passion that you want to go in that direction. I think. We learn so much every day. I learn something every day,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm forever reading articles and listening to webinars and all of that. But the magazine makes it pretty easy. You read the magazine, you're going to learn a lot right there. So
Mm-hmm.
share what you read. You share what you're learning yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as you know what's in there, I think it'll be truly helpful to anyone.
Well, and the key is, you're positioning yourself as the real estate expert, not the expert of everything. So just like if someone had a tax question, you might share your knowledge, but you'd say, really, if you really want to dive deep into this, I suggest that you talk to a tax professional or a lawyer or whatever their question is. So just the fact that you are networking with some of these healthy home professionals, and where people can get their air quality tested, or who the mold remediation people are that are really good, or any of these other professionals that are not, that are in your network. It enables you to be a better real estate agent and just be the connector of everything home.
Absolutely. And I think that you realize in the magazine, they don't have to know it. Like you said, they really don't have to know all of that, because, there are people that specialize in these areas, and they want to see the results, a healthier outcome for anyone, and what services they may offer. So I think that's
and just like, I think green homes has been around for a really long time. And what I learned when I went through that NAR green certification is basically they said, you really need to share benefits, not features, because people don't understand what the R value is in insulation. They don't really care. They'll just stop listening if you're talking about features of things like that. But if you start to talk about the benefits, like, you'll be more comfortable in your home if you have thermostats that are smarter thermostats, because they work to change the temperature automatically. And that's something everyone understands, and we all pretty much buy into that sort of thing, right? But there's also circadian lighting that helps you sleep better, that works with your your sleep rhythms. There's so many other things that you can learn about, that you can kind of incorporate into healthy living. And like you had said, I feel like, our immune systems are taxed because of the environment, because of the stress load that we put on our bodies every day, because of the food, because of everything. So, your body can only handle so much. So anytime you can alleviate a little bit of this stress that's on our bodies, whether it be, EMF stuff, or, cleaning your air, or cleaning your water, or anything along those lines, and your food, and start moving your body, and kind of meditate so you can reduce stress, you're allowing your cup to get lower, so that you can manage your days better, you can be happier, you can be more productive. I don't think that any one thing is going to solve your health issues, right? It's kind of a holistic approach to your daily lives, and kind of looking at everything, not just what you eat and what you do fitness wise, but also what's surrounding you in your home.
I mean, because people don't realize, eliminating simple things like scented candles, and candles made with petroleum, and you think you're using something healthy, you've got to read the labels, but there's simple things you can do, it's like that, I think are so. And it's funny because I notice now they'll say blended on some of the candles, right? They'll say coconut blended, or soy blended. Well, that means it's petroleum probably in there, and things like that. I think people fragrances to me are such a big problem in the home, from products to, like I say, candles, the paint, use no VO, low VO, that kind of thing. Like with this lady, she's going to do some painting, and I want to make sure that, the painter is using low VO, no VO paint, because it's not well. So, it's like that,
Well, and, if you talk about that in your marketing, when you're marketing that home, and you come across a buyer who is a young parent who has young children, they are going to be excited about that they didn't use toxic paint. Or even, I don't know if you have termites down in, in Georgia, but I just noticed that there's some companies coming out with orange oil so that you don't have to tent your home. And that is a major improvement, because I don't know if you realize the chemicals that are pumped in your home when you tent for termites, but it's very, very toxic. So if you don't have to do that, there's an alternative that still gets rid of the termites and allows you to get that clearance, and it's healthier for you and your family and doesn't leave residue all over your furniture and all over your, food that you've left in the house. I mean, that's probably a good idea, right?
Exactly.
Mhm.
No, that's a very good point. But it's just awareness and just,
Mhm.
sharing things and getting them excited about you can live, you can have a nice home, but it also can be a healthy home. It can be your sanctuary there, and how you can
Mhm.
connect with outdoor spaces and make sure you open your windows, open the windows. People barely open the windows. They use air, they go from heat to air and don't. It's like, that's it. And,
Yes.
but that old air never really goes out. I was reading, it's a developer that I don't think has been in Atlanta too long, but I was reading some of the things that they were doing. They were talking about how the air exchange,
Mhm.
uh, it will exchange the air out based on the system they're using. And it made just so much sense, the things that they were offering. But and these are not expensive homes. So this
Mhm.
builder that's, building kind of a medium price home. And they're doing all these things to create a healthier environment for the person
You
that's going.
should go talk with some of these builders, get to know them, and let them know that you're a wellness focused agent and that, you want to share what they're doing with the public, and they're going to love you.
Definitely want to go. That one in particular, I was very impressed because of the price point. It wasn't like, it was $800 or something, but it
Mhm.
was a medium price community. And if they're going to build, they've sold out on that one, but I'm looking for, to see what they're going to do next. And
Mhm.
I'd love to go, kind of talk to them about these things and say, hey, I'd like to feature you, I'd like to feature your community and kind of, let people know what you're doing here.
Yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know if you're ever thought about having a little podcast. It's totally easy to do, but you could, when you meet those people, just offer to like interview them and
Mhm.
put it on a YouTube or put it on, create your own podcast. You don't have to do it all the time, but just air an episode where you've interviewed some of these developers and that you're sharing what they're doing so more people can find them and find you too.
Right. That's a good idea.
Yeah, it's free, so there's no reason not to. And you don't have to be on video, so it's super
Right.
easy to write a script and just put it on there. So
Mhm.
yeah, I'd encourage you to do that. Just any more ways you can get free exposure or get exposure to you and your brand and how you're doing things differently is only going to help you grow your business. So, well, thank you so much, Terry. If anyone is in the Atlanta, Georgia area and they're trying to look for a holistic realtor or wellness focused realtor, how can they find you? I don't know what happened to the audio. Okay.
Oh, can you hear
There you
me?
go. Yep. Now I can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay. It was saying they can reach me by phone. It's fine.
Mhm.
And my website, they can go to my website, which is terrym.brown
Mhm.
at cbrealty.com.
Mhm.
They can reach me that way and phone. You want me to give that?
Mhm.
770-403-1146. And I'm in the Atlanta market, but I work all of the areas around wherever
Okay.
I help someone.
Yes. Great. Thank you so much, Terry. I so appreciate you being on the show today.
Well, thank you, Sheila, for all you do to help us, to bring this out and make this well known, to people looking to buy and understand what's going on in the marketplace.
You're welcome. I mean, there's nothing that brings me more joy than to hear your story and how it's helped you. How my tools get to help you talk to more people just like makes me so happy.
We appreciate it so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something new that will inspire you to think about your branding and how you can market yourself a little differently. If you enjoyed this episode, then you're going to love what I have for you because you don't need to wait to go get extra certifications or to grow and expand your network to get started attracting those new leads right now. You can simply begin by talking about wellness real estate trends and what you've learned on this podcast with others. I mean, this is pretty interesting stuff that no one has heard about, and I have all the tools that can make it even easier for you. Wellness Real Estate Magazine is a brand new wellness lifestyle magazine, and it's the only magazine that brings health and home together. We educate readers on industry trends and how to create a healthier home environment, written by industry experts around the country. And we have 3 covers to choose from: Wellness RE, Healthy Home, and Wellness at Home, so you can easily find one that aligns with your unique brand and messaging. These magazines are the perfect done-for-you tools that help you not only stay top of mind, but they educate and engage your audience, which positions you as an industry expert. Differentiate yourself and grow your brand the easy way. Learn more at healthyhomemedia.com.